Well, I've been thinking, we have access to more potential partners than ever in human history. We can filter for height, hobbies, star signs before we've even said hello. We get an online profile that we can deep dive into and gain a perception of what we think the person might be before even engaging. We almost feel like we have infinite choice. But in reality, is this helpful? I've been thinking a lot about modern dating and the role that it plays, and I'm really interested to talk about this with you because obviously you're in a long-term healthy relationship.
I am.
I'm single, so I think we'll come at this from very different angles. But the trend I found when I was diving into this topic is modern dating feels exhausting. Modern dating feels tiring. Modern dating feels hard work. So my question is, why does it feel so exhausting?
I think you've touched on it already within that beautifully written intro. We have such a plethora of choice with online dating. You have CVs coming at you left, right, and centre. Like, this is a girl. She's 5'5". She likes long walks. She likes going travelling. She's into sport. She loves her dog. Got a strong connection with her parents. It's like, that's an excellent CV. Swipe right. I hope they get back to me. The problem is, when you have so much choice, you almost have paralysis of options because there's so many. And the reality is you never understand somebody else until you meet them and you build that deeper connection. And you might say, you don't understand anyone. You've probably got more information from the online profiles than you would if you just walked up to somebody in real life. But I think that very distinction is a massive problem. It's exhausting. There's so many people out there looking for some sort of relationship. I'm not even going to bring in the fact that most people aren't looking for long-term relationships and what damage that causes. We can maybe get onto that later.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt your narrative there, but I see two things that have jumped out at me immediately. There's the too many choices and the online profile. We'll start with the too many choices and we'll loop back to that online profile idea. But yeah, there are almost too many choices when we've gamified dating through apps, because it is a swipe right. I like them. Ding. I don't like them. Swipe to that side. And it's just next. Even if you have a free Tinder account, you get a certain amount of swipes per day or something like that, per 12 hours, I'm not sure. But there is just the idea that there's always going to be something better, someone better. Too many choices. So why would I ever want to feel satisfied? Why would I ever want to stop this dopamine response I get from doing this?
That's it. They've made the hunt maybe more appealing than the actual having of the relationship.
The chase. They've gamified the chase.
It's like trying to compare the feeling of swiping shorts that are maybe all to do with, arranging flowers with actually arranging flowers. It's like, if you want to, you might think, I really want to arrange flowers. I'm going to watch loads of videos on arranging flowers. And suddenly you find that you've never arranged flowers because you're just swiping through it. You get more dopamine quicker by swiping and looking at all the potential options than you do actually working on a project and seeing it all the way through.
Yeah, it's the immediate gratification, isn't it? Like, at the moment, a lot of the modern world is designed towards immediate gratification rather than delayed gratification. Social media, dating apps, even relationships have been told that if it doesn't gratify you instantly, it's wrong.
Yeah.
And we have that, attention economy, I think it is now, that's been coined, which is valid because people can't stick with things long enough to see the long-term outcomes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. There's too many options because it's almost the fear of missing out. It's like FOMO. There's always going to be someone better. And yeah, there probably is. Because if you've got this infinite pool of people, someone might be slightly better looking, might have slightly better hair, might be slightly more towards your type, might be slightly more interested in the same things as you. There's always going to be some degree of better in some degree of person. So it's just, you're never going to be satisfied because you're always just going to be looking for the next hit, the next thing. But I wanted to jump on the online profile as well. As you mentioned, you can get a whole image of what this person wants you to believe they're like. That doesn't necessarily mean that's what they're like.
No. And this was the other thing I was going to add to that is, you might think you're better off for having more information up front, even if we assume all that information is true. But what that has skipped out is the actual person-to-person connection you have if you were just to meet somebody face-to-face and ask those questions for yourself. That is you showing an interest. That is a huge green light to the other person. If they have given you all this information, yes, it's voluntary, but then you'll still discuss those things. And it's sort of like you've tried to get a jump start on everything. It's like, no, you need to ask the questions, actually show an interest. I think that's the bit that online dating has cut out.
I think it's making you make assumptions on people you've never met. So then if you do ever meet them, you've already got this image of what you think they're like. And it's so hard for anyone to change a perception someone has of them. So if they've got this image of what they think you're like, how is that person ever going to change that? So this online profile you can present to be incredible, but you might not be. Or vice versa. You might present in completely the wrong way, which results in no swipes or any sort of interaction. But in reality, you're a pretty nice person. So this online profile idea is just a way to signal or virtue signal how incredible you are or not. But it's going to be a false reality, and it probably stunts the actual get to know you phase.
I'm going to say something that doesn't sound true on the face of it, but I think it is. I've thought it through. People are not as attractive online as they are in real life. What do I mean by that? Because you'd say, oh, well, people can doctor photos and they can take pictures of themselves in the best possible scenario. All of that excludes the electricity in the air of when you see somebody and they're actually there and it could actually happen. Like, you could actually go and talk to them. That electricity, that not attachment, but attraction, doesn't exist through a phone. It's purely sort of animalistic physical desire that exists over a phone. In real life, when it's a real person stood there, there's an electricity there. And that cannot be simulated through technology, and therefore makes the person more attractive, as it's almost more attainable because they're in your local vicinity.
I agree. Have you ever watched anyone talk about something they're passionate about? Do you see their face light up? Their words get faster, they get more animated, their eyes widen, they are so engaged. They're magnetic in that stage. When someone is talking about something they're passionate about, you can't capture that over an app.
In a photo.
No, you can't. You can't take that snapshot and produce it in the same way. Like when someone talks about something they're passionate about, you light up, and that is magnetic for anyone that's in the vicinity. You know, you get you to talk about YouTube, you light up, for better or worse. Get me to talk about travel, snowboarding, surfing, I light up. I'm like, let's go. Like, I'm so in it. And you might think that you're beautiful in this picture that you've taken, but you're probably a lot more beautiful when you're talking about something that brings you joy.
Yeah. But you can't recreate that through apps. It's not possible. It's the in-person connection. But it's the same problem as well. It's how do you get people to actually go out and want to meet people without everyone feeling like, oh, I'm going to get attacked?
Well, the online profile is superficial. It's curated. It's trying to just tell a snapshot of yourself in, 150 characters?
Yeah.
How the fuck are you meant to do that?
Better have some naked pictures.
That's where I'm going wrong. I've been
You don't do that?
all of them.
I've been in winter gear.
I've just been these
3 coats.
But yeah, like it's almost like performance anxiety, isn't it? If like you're trying to sell yourself superficially. But hey, modern dating feels exhausting because of ghosting and ghosting culture. You know, the lack of clear communication, the ability to just drop someone whenever you feel like it. That's exhausting. You might invest so much time and effort into someone, they just drop you. No reason, no justification. Don't need to justify it anymore. You can just do it. Imagine doing that in person.
Yeah, you're very good at it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've done it many times. Not on the phone, but face to face. I'm done now.
Yeah. Goodbye.
But yeah, ghosting culture is...
It's a big thing. I think if you are one of the very lucky few that can get a match on one of the dating things, your target should be to get from that messaging portal into meeting in real life as quickly as possible. Because that's what's going to build the proper connection that builds a lasting relationship.
But have you seen the numbers on men on how often they need to swipe?
Oh, it's
Approximately
crazy.
A man needs to swipe 200 times to secure a single date. Like the average is 200 times to get a date. That's the average. Obviously, some might be lower, some might be higher. But studies indicate it takes an average of 3,960 swipes to find a significant other, taking roughly 8 months. Men often have a low match rate around 0.6 to 1%. Men tend to spend fewer hours per week on apps compared to women, which is interesting.
Well, because it's degrading. Like, you feel dirty just having to go, yeah, I like you, but none of these are going to get back to me.
I wonder if it's because maybe, men are less picky on the apps. They're just like,
They can't afford to be. It's like if it takes 4,000 swipes almost to get a lasting quality relationship, it's like you'd think you have better chances just by walking to the park. It's like, it's just hopeless.
Yeah, okay. So ghosting culture. It's very common in modern dating, with studies showing that up to 25 to 30% of people have experienced it. I suppose there's legitimate reasons, people might have emotional discomfort. They don't have the availability to connect with someone. Something might have gone wrong in their life, but oftentimes it's just people lack the maturity to handle the difficult conversation. I'd rather not have the difficult conversation. I'm just not going to engage at all. And then the person on the receiving end, male or female, is left wondering what they did wrong. Were they good enough? What did they say? What should they have said? And that person's probably left to pick apart all the pieces, depending on how far you are into it. But we've all left sometimes when you've had that ghosting. You're like, what has happened? And where has this come from? And you're just left trying to make sense of something that you have the incomplete picture.
And it's going to erode the individual's ability to trust others going forwards.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's the lasting effect. It's like, so you might think, oh, well, they'll get over it. It'll be fine. And on the surface, yes. But the emotional damage in terms of trusting is going to completely disappear.
It leads to, fear of rejection and probably a reduced self-worth. They're maybe less likely to feel as confident in themselves. Yeah, like ghosting culture is unfortunately quite negative, but it's also created a generation of people that are lacking self-awareness. Lacking integrity.
And also struggling in real life social situations to know how to redirect a conversation if they lose interest. Because in real life, if you're having a face-to-face conversation, you can't ghost, you can't just ignore it. But how many times have people been in that situation previously to have the skills to know, it's okay if I'm not so interested in this. I can take on board what they've said and try and redirect it to something else. Like, that's how you move conversations forwards.
It's how you grow as a person.
Yeah, but people don't have those skills. They've never practiced them. Practice makes perfect or permanent, and you can't do those things.
Yeah, agreed. So this ghosting culture just leaves a whole generation of people that no longer feel like they need to be held accountable. And if that's how they're acting in dating, how are they acting out of the other fields of their life? Are they doing similar things where they're making bad decisions, but it's like, oh, I'm not going to be held accountable, so what does it matter? Slippery slope. Why does modern dating feel so exhausting? We touched on it, but apps are gamified. They're designed to be addicting now. So it's going to be like a dopamine-fueled response, similar to scrolling or being in the scroll hole or doom scrolling. That repetitive action, swiping from like reel to reel or short to short or whatever TikTok calls it. I don't know. I'm not young enough to know. I thought you knew. Anyway.
What, on the For You page?
Yeah.
Going from just post to post.
Okay. Fine. But yeah, it's dopamine. It's the same with the swiping, isn't it? It's dopamine. It's superficial swipes. It's burnout. And then say you've swiped X amount of times and you've got 8 matches. Well, then you engage with 8 different people. You try and start 8 different conversations. You try and remember 8 different trains of thought. You try and remember what to say, but you want to sound cool and aloof, but engaging and suave and, a little bit playful and genuine. You're trying to navigate all these complexities across different conversations if you get that far. And then someone might ghost you, but one might be going really well. And it's just, you're trying to balance all, just spinning so many different plates.
And what you're getting at there is how overwhelming it is. It's a big thing to take on. And you might say, oh, well, dating in real life is equally overwhelming. Yes, it is, but it's for different reasons. It's not overwhelm of all these women that you've got options with and you've just started 8 conversations with them. It's like that would be sensory overload. But online, we just think, oh, yeah, well, it's a numbers game, And to a point, it's a numbers game in real life, but you can have a lot higher hit rate. If you talk to 10 people in a bar, you will be able to get them all to have some level of conversation with you. If you message 10 people online, there's no guarantee that any of them will get back to you.
Yeah, well, the question is, why does modern dating feel so exhausting? So we've lent straight into apps, but there's definitely still face-to-face interactions and meets and like first-time aloof situations that happen. Obviously, a lot of it does now happen on apps, but you absolutely can still meet people like in the modern world, like face-to-face.
Yep, you can have a gym crush.
Yep, it's a great way to meet people.
Staring at them.
Yes,
across the room.
Absolutely. Hello. Yeah, but so there's actually higher success rates in person.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So research indicates that a vast majority of people, around 82% in some US studies, met their partner in person. So through friends, work, shared activities. Because you've got that shared interest. If you introduced me to someone, you'd probably give me a high recommendation. So then, rather than them researching me or looking at my profile of me trying to virtue signal, they've just got an honest recommendation of the type of person I am.
Yeah.
It builds the authenticity and the chemistry right away, meeting in person. You can read the body language, hear the tone of voice. You can feel any chemistry that's there. You can't replicate that through a screen. And ultimately, if it's not there, there's less hard feelings. You can still have ghosting culture face to face, but you might walk away from a date going, you know what? Yeah, that clearly didn't go well for either of us. And it probably removes the paradox of choice. Whereas with the apps, you've got constant stream of new and more. Whereas meeting people, in face to face, you don't necessarily have that. But it's still, like you say, exhausting because you've got to go out your comfort zone.
That's it. It's everything we've been talking about recently is all about putting yourself out on that ledge, isn't it?
Have you heard of something I came across today, actually, and I think it's been on social media for a while, the penguin video?
No.
So it's caught so much attention, but it's this penguin video has motivated and traumatized the internet in one video. So from my understanding of it, there is a penguin that completely ignores the group and walks by itself towards the mountains rather than with the group for safety. And it's like, did that penguin die? Probably. But he tried. He was brave. He tried something new. He wanted to be different. He wanted to stand out. And it's like inspired this whole scene of like, step out of your comfort zone, be like the penguin, which is cool. It's awesome. But you are right. There's this whole like step out of your comfort zone narrative going on. Also, at the time of filming, the penguin video was completely relevant.
Yeah.
And this is probably going out in like July, June.
What episode is this? 96?
This is 96,
oh
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So
guys, we're so close to 100. Subscribe.
Well, hopefully we'll be...
Don't ghost us.
Yeah, please don't ghost
Comment.
us.
Let us know your thoughts on dating. How's your dating life going?
Yeah, I think this one's going out in June. So at the time of filming in January, this one was very valid.
Yeah.
That my penguin point was very valid. And you'd be like, yes, I remember that video. Oh, how it's fallen off.
What's really funny is how you're going to be married when this goes out.
I'll be travelling from in 2 weeks until that time. I'm not going to get married in that time.
Yeah, you are. You're going to meet somebody when you're travelling, and you're going to be surfing with them. You're going to be,
I hope so.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Happen.
Okay.
You just got to be open to it.
I'm open to it.
Yeah, there you go.
Legs and everything.
Yeah, you're going to meet a lovely femboy in Thailand. Not going to find out to the third date.
It doesn't take me that long. But yeah.
I think we're starting to zero in on your problem. If it doesn't take you 3 dates to
maybe
get a femboy in bed, maybe you should start dating women.
That's where I've been going wrong. So modern dating feels so exhausting, probably because of the plethora of choices online. But then when you step to try and do it in person, there's so many more complexities. You've got to try and be... As a man, you got to try and be polite and respectful, to not overstep or be creepy. But you got to be confident enough to go out of your comfort zone and engage with someone. As a woman, you got to make sure that this man is polite, like respectful, not creepy and not interested in the wrong reasons. But you got to be open to a new... you got to be brave and be open to a new conversation, which when a lot of signs of how men act recently is not encouraging you to be open. And then both parties have to be nice and respectful if it's not working. So that's exhausting in itself because there's so many complexities at play.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about. And do you want to know how I've always dealt with those things?
Yeah, please.
Is by completely ignoring them.
What do you mean by that?
Because there's so many complexities and so many things to think about. If you go into any social communication worrying about any one of them, it's just not going to work. You're not going to be able to have a coherent conversation because you're going to be so worried about what you're saying. You're going to feel like you're avoiding landmines all the time. If you just go and have the conversation, and if the person says no for any one of those complex reasons, that in your own head won't be the reason. It will just be, I didn't do very well in that conversation because it was the most authentic version of you without worrying about any of the complexities.
Yeah, but you are right. There are heaps of complexities, though. So it's not just simple enough as like, I'm just going to talk to this person. Or at least as a single guy, it doesn't feel that way.
That's always been my approach.
Like when you talk about the idea of going like a gym crush, going to talk to someone in the gym feels extremely scary because there's the anxiety.
I can't understand that.
But it's the anxiety of the
go talk to
approach
them.
of like, you might not have anything to say. You might fumble your words. You might be rejected. You might be seen as weird and creepy and encroaching on their space, especially if the girl is wearing, say, like gym clothes and is feeling confident in their body, but it's the whole argument of that. They might be offering closed body language. It's just not... Yeah, it's just, is that a place where people naturally meet? There's so many things to consider. So it doesn't feel as easy as just going and doing it. But maybe it should be.
Yeah, I mean, all of those things that you've mentioned, I've never considered.
Why not?
If I want to go and talk to somebody, I'll go and talk to them. It's that is the thought process. Because and fumbling over my words, say I fumble over my words, it's like I just get to laugh about that with the person. Just whatever the elephant is in the room, just name it. It's like, hi, how did you? Sorry about that. Let me try again. And as soon as you do that, it's like the tension is instantly because. Sorry, I was nervous. What's your name? Sorry. Like it's so easy to sidestep any issues just through being an honest, open person.
Yeah.
And when I do that as well, I'm non-threatening because it's like, look, I fumbled over my words. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
you know, and just being that way is the best way to get through life. It's like, don't put any stress on it. Treat everything as a joke. Have fun. Like, what's the point in dating? You need to have fun.
Yeah, it's the fear of rejection, though, isn't it? That's where it comes
But
down.
so
to
what? They
guys...
say no.
Yeah, but if guys have, because someone might internalize a guy or a girl if they get rejected, that they themselves then are not attractive. They're not. And I know you're going to say we're not attractive to that person. It's the wrong person. I get all of that. But when you've gone out on a ledge and you've spoke to someone and they're not interested, you're like, oh, fuck, like, oh, shit. You just feel a bit dumb. You feel a bit stupid. You're like, oh, God, like, shouldn't have done that.
I think a lot of people fester in liking other people.
Yeah,
for example, if you see somebody that you like, I remember I was working at Sainsbury's, not the one that we worked at, and there was this guy. I managed to get myself a girlfriend quite quickly. I think I was there a month before it just happened, but in that time I was talking to everyone. I was like, oh. Is she dating anyone? Like, can I just go and... Oh, no, she's got a boyfriend. Okay, cool. Oh, she's quite pretty. Like, I just wanted to go and talk to people. I'd always talk to everyone. And for some reason, bearing in mind I was a virgin at this point, everyone was like, oh, Will's the ladies' man. I was like, I'm not a ladies' man in any sense of the word. But I can just talk to people. But then, so after I got a girlfriend, there were guys who would come to me and be like, oh, I really like that girl. Really? Which one? Oh, yeah. Oh, she works on night shifts. Okay, cool. Like, when did she start working? Oh, I've liked her for 3 years, and I've never spoken to her. It's like that barrier to get over. If you've been fantasizing about somebody for age, and it doesn't even need to be 3 years. That was just that example. But you just go and talk to them because everything you want is on the other side of that conversation. And if they say no or they're not interested, you can then move on.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I agree with that completely. I do think people get hung up on someone for far too long. You know, you can fester in that attraction and that inaction that it never makes you step out, which is again exhausting. So tying back to everything, but you're right. You know, to say, oh, I've liked it for 6 months. Why haven't you done anything about it? Oh, I've just been too scared. It's like, well, now you're just trapped. So I get it, and I relate. Like where I am, I get it. Like I completely relate.
You know what's really interesting? My confidence in talking to people came from watching you do it.
What?
Yeah. Because when we were working at Sainsbury's together, you would go and talk and just have... It wasn't conversations with intentions of anything, but just the way that you were able to walk up to people and talk to them. And it didn't matter who they were, what they were doing, like what their like department was or whatever. You'd just be able to have a conversation with them. And even if it was just in passing, I was like, oh, you just talk to people.
See, the irony is that all of those people I probably engaged with, I wasn't romantically inclined with. So yeah, I was just like talking with. Even if they're male, female, didn't matter.
Yeah.
Even if they were an attractive female, if I wasn't like interested in them, I could talk to them. I can talk to anyone except for people I like, and that's the cruel irony. Is if it's someone I like, I lose all that charisma that I can exude, and I'm quite grateful. I think I can be quite charismatic and quite charming at times, but I lose all of it when it comes to someone I actually like, and it drives me insane.
That's why I think you've got to have a light-hearted approach, because there is an element of when you like somebody, it's very difficult to hide it as well. So you've just got to be honest and just have fun with it. And I think the other person will appreciate your vulnerability. Instantly, you're being vulnerable. It's like saying, I'm just a blubbering idiot, but I think you're quite attractive. You know, that's what you might not say those words, but that's what your body language is saying. And it's like, if you can just show that you're easygoing, like light-hearted, people are attracted to that because they're not threatened. If they know they don't have to have their guard up because you're more likely to be the fool than they are in that situation, instantly people are more open to you.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Go out there and talk to people. If you're watching this podcast, finish it. But
get to the end, like, subscribe, watch another 2, and then go out.
Yeah, comment. That's a big one. Yeah. But just get out and talk to people. It doesn't have to just be people you like, but just get used to talking to people you don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm really excited for with travelling at the time of filming is talking to people, but talking to people I'm interested in. Because the barrier goes when you're travelling.
Well, you've got no choice. It's either you speak to no one or you talk
to
people you
like
don't
talking
know.
to people I'm interested in. I think I just need to get over that barrier. I think I've built myself into a habit of routine, a habit of ease and comfort. If I do the same thing, you know, get up, go for a walk, work, go to the gym, finish. You know, I could have been going to like high rock classes or CrossFit classes for ages and meeting new people. I just didn't do it. So I need to get out of that funk. And I think this would be a great way to encourage that. It's not obviously the only reason I'm doing it, but it's a happy accident.
You know, the really interesting thing is there's so many like skills that you have to learn for the sole purpose of meeting your mate. And then as soon as you've met them, you'd never use it again. Like, learning how to ask somebody out on a date is a really big hill for a lot of people to climb. But you've only got to be successful at it once.
Yeah, it is true. You do really have to be successful at it once. But it's the same with dating as well. Like,
Yeah.
we all say, oh, I can't make relationships work. It's like, one, you only learn about relationships when you're in relationships. We have no prior training on this. You learn on the job. Two, you only have to make one of them work. How many relationships have you had? I've had maybe 2 serious.
I've had 2. This is my second.
You know, like, if you tried 2 things, like you were learning a new skill, languages, and you had 2 long lessons, like maybe an hour-long lessons, or week-long lessons, you wouldn't be fluent. You wouldn't be kicking yourself that you are. You'd understand that it's a journey. But with dating, we're like, oh, I just can't do it. We beat ourselves up about it. Again, making it exhausting because we put so much pressure on ourselves. This expectation on yourself that you've got to be perfect. You've got to have the perfect line. You've got to have the perfect intro. You've got to be the perfect person. You've got to look the exact right way at the exact right time to have the exact right words to speak to the exact right person for them to moderately be interested in you. It's all this pressure you put on yourself.
Yeah. Do you want to expand on pressure further? Because I think pressure is more than just the initial talking. It's just pressure in general. Maybe there's external pressures, internal pressures, pressure the other person puts on you to, you know, be whatever you want them to be. Pressure you've got on what the relationship could be.
So I think when it comes to dating, the internal pressure you feel is the pressure of getting your words right, or even just talking to someone. So getting over the expectation that this person is also a human, I'm a human, I can talk to them. The pressure you feel of having to go up to them and make the line perfect, the introduction perfect, just to the point where it feels easy for you. You don't fumble your words, you don't physically trip up. I told you there's a girl at the gym, I tripped up. I was like, great. And ironically, that was probably the best in I've ever had, but I didn't take it. But yeah, there's so much pressure internally to make sure that the way you engage is effortless, seamless, smooth, engaging. But you also, it's the pressure if you start really thinking about it, which you shouldn't, but if you really start thinking about it, it's like, well, how do they want me to be? Do they want me to be cool, calm, collected, or do they want me to be aloof and kind of funny? Or do they want me to be super serious? Or do they want me to just be like a bit of a dick? You don't know. But you can catastrophize in your head rather than just being yourself.
Yeah.
Engaging in the only way that seems to happen, which is just when you talk to them, what words come out. But then pressure of what are they going to say? Are they going to receive it? Am I going to be made to look like an idiot? Am I going to be like ostracized from this environment I'm in? You know, if I talk to them, are they going to make a scene? Am I then going to have to come back to this gym every time and see them and be like, oh, shit. You know? Are other people going to see it and be like, oh, God, what's going on there? It just feels like pressure.
Mm. Yeah, it's a daunting prospect, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, well, not my problem.
Yeah, no, you're happy. But yeah. It's all these cliche things that like people say in a relationship to someone that's single don't help. Like, just be yourself. Oh, you're a great guy. You'll find someone. Oh, you're a really interesting girl. People will love you. These aren't helpful. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. And then you have the dialogues of like, well, if I was really that great of a guy, surely I would have found someone. If I was really that great of a girl, surely I would have found someone. Surely my last relationship would have worked. In saying I'm great and lovable, I've got no evidence of that. So you can start really getting down a hole. Again, making the relationship or the pressure to meet someone feel even worse. Again, being exhausting.
Mm. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I've been thinking about this recently with when you have an idea about something. So obviously I'm not thinking in terms of meeting somebody, but just generally, like I might have a good idea for a new product or something, and I'll really think about the idea, like, yes, that's it. And then I'll go and do 3 other things, reach a new level of experience in life, and then come back to the idea. I'm like, how do I actually go about doing that again? Like, I've still got the idea, but I've forgotten how my approach was to it. It's like when you're in a relationship and then you become single. It's like when you're in a relationship, you're like, oh, yeah, no, that's obviously how you'd ask somebody out. You'd go and do this, you'd go and do that, you'd be charismatic when you're talking to them. And then as soon as you're out of that, it's like, how do you talk to people? It's like you completely forget the method behind, you know what you've got to do, but you have no idea of the approach.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess that's the thing. Is it perspective or just being outside of the situation? You get a better perspective, whereas when you're actually in that place, it's like, I can't see the wood through the trees or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when you're in a happy, healthy relationship, like, well, obviously. It's like, how many times has someone in a relationship had to point out to the single person, or even not someone in a relationship, but the person that's not in it, go, like, that guy or girl was clearly interested in you. Like, what? No. You have no idea because you're in it. You're experiencing it. Yeah. So we've obviously talked about modern dating and feeling exhausting. And we jumped into real life. And we jumped into dating apps. So on the back of dating apps, do the dating apps make relationships harder? Not necessarily meeting someone, because I think we've touched on that, but relationships. Because what I found interesting is research suggests that couples who met online actually report lower relationship satisfaction and less intense love compared to those who met offline. So that doesn't necessarily mean that it makes a relationship harder, but I'm curious whether it does.
I reckon it's to do with that deep connection.
Okay.
How you get to know somebody, what's their first impression? If your first impression is they're just one of a lineup of 250 swipes, it's not a great first impression. No fault of that person's.
Oh my God, they're the one that liked me.
And the answer to all the questions you might have might already be in front of you, so you haven't, like, oh, that's just public information. It's like, okay, now I need to get to know you, but I already know all the things that would get, I know more about my girlfriend than the public do because we did all of our getting to know each other in person. We didn't do any of it online. Although she did reach out through Instagram. So, yeah. Hey, with 2 Y's and a kiss. Like, I knew I was straight in. That was her first message to me. I was like, yeah. 2 Y's.
Put your gloves on. And you're like, okay, we're in.
Gloves?
Yeah. Clinical. Yeah. Okay, so relationships can be harder when met online or through dating apps, I should say. Not necessarily Instagram, but online. Okay. Likely all the things we've mentioned. And if, say, you've met someone from a dating app, you've had the influence of what it's like to be on a dating app and see the option of choices. So you might be like, well, this person's got to really wow me. I've got to be in love within the next month. They've got to buy me all the things I want or treat me the exact way I want without having any investment in the real deep, honest conversations and the investment in time that it takes to get to know that person. Be like, well, I'll get the next John, Dave, Larry that's on the dating app.
Yeah.
Most common names, apparently.
Just trying to look for whoever matches up with Joan.
Yeah, Joan.
I think the other thing is, if somebody gets back to you on a dating app and out of your 10 swipes that day, it wasn't the one you really wanted to get back to you, you're not going to be as fully committed.
Yeah.
As well, because you're comparing straight away. You've literally got like that one or that one or that
it's
one.
Comparison culture, right? Nuts. Isn't it? Like, it's telling you don't need to pick because there's 10 other people that are coming.
Yeah.
It's comparison culture.
It's like the Sidemen videos where they do Tinder in real life. It's like
those are awful, man. Like,
but it exaggerates the problem. It's like nobody would do this in real life. Like, come on, women, you're all gonna line up, and guys are gonna have a look, and they get to decide whether they like you or not. They're gonna try and win you over, and then you could just say no. Like, it's brutal. But because it's through a phone screen, people are like, oh, people will be fine with that. It's mental.
Yeah, it removes the human element, doesn't it? And again, it removes the accountability side.
Yeah, and the electricity, it's very difficult to put into words, but like when you're talking to somebody in real life, that has a feeling to it. When you're talking to somebody over text, there isn't that feeling. I don't know what that feeling is. There is, whether it's some sort of electricity, whether it's some sort of vibe, chemistry. You don't build that through a phone. You build that through looking at somebody when you're talking to them. It's so important. I would get rid of online dating like that.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
If I ever become single again, like I'm just, talking to people. I'll probably have a relationship quite quickly.
Yeah, you'd be in a relationship before me. Yeah,
Probably.
definitely before one of our other friends.
But it's purely because I don't know why, but I just have no filter, and that's a blessing actually. But I just go up to people, like if I want to talk to them, I'll just talk to them. It's like that's the thought process.
Yeah. Well, the irony is, I think a lot of guys envy the other guys that can go up and talk to people so naturally. Whether it's
I'm not natural.
No, it comes across as natural, or it comes across as an ability to do it, but you have no idea whether that person's interested, know that person's or whatever. But you look at it, say in the gym, and someone's interacting with a guy and a girl are talking. Guys might be like, oh, I wish I could do that, or they might be getting spiteful at that guy because he can do that. In reality, he might be absolutely crapping himself. He's there shaking and sweating, and he's going to go have a breakdown in the changing rooms afterwards because he's done something he's built up in his head for the last month.
That's why the gym's a good disguise, because you're already sweaty.
Yeah, I do work up a sweat on those treadmills, walking.
That you build up a sweat just walking into the gym, seeing your gym crush.
Oh my god.
That's the workout done for today.
Yeah.
I've been in zone 5.
I'm done. She walked past me. Yeah, valid. Yeah, okay. So, why can't people commit anymore?
Oh, I think there's so many reasons.
We're in a current culture where there's an idea of like throwaway culture. So it's like comparisons in there, fear of vulnerability, FOMO, abundance of choice. There is so much in there, but we are living in somewhat of an environment where people are struggling to commit now and choosing not to commit now. Both sides.
Yeah. It's avoiding the real work. Like, when you are in a relationship, not everything is easy. So why wouldn't you just have the bit of the relationship where everything's easy? Like, if we're past the point of meeting the person and whatever, and you're in that honeymoon period, it's like, why wouldn't you just rinse and repeat that? Especially with the amount of people choosing not to have kids these days, it's like, what is the benefit of having a long-term relationship? You want the relationship that's either 10 years in or in the first 3 months, but doing the work to get to the place where you feel that comfortable as 10 years in, it's like, nobody wants to go through that.
Like we said in a previous episode, the way you recover from disagreements is the rupture and repair. But that's uncomfortable. That's hard work. That's commitment. It's choosing to accept, to choose love. It's choosing to accept that you might be wrong and meet someone halfway. It's hard. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. People can't commit because of the fear of the hard work. And it's almost like situational ships, non-exclusive, like offers the benefits of companionship without the perceived work or the responsibility of the committed relationship.
Yeah.
Why would I commit when I can just have the fun without any of the stress?
It's really funny. Soph and I were basically together for the year before we officially got together, and she wrote a poem or two and put it on her TikTok, and it went really well for her, and she called it like, why am I in a situationship or something like that, and it went like, she got a lot of views on it because I guess a lot of people could relate, and I was just too blind to see what was in front of me, but
it's okay.
I made the right decision in the end.
You got there.
Yeah.
Did have all of us guys telling you.
Yeah. Yeah, but you also said it was a bad idea for me to go on holiday with my ex, and that worked out so well. that, I just couldn't trust you after that.
For any Americans listening, that is sarcasm he's employing, just in case you didn't know.
Yeah, I forget the Americans don't know what sarcasm is. They just think we're being horrible to each other all the time. Yeah. Imagine that. Just a 300 million person country of autistic people.
Well, the US.
Yeah.
It's because they had paracetamol. Their mothers had paracetamol, according to Trump.
Yeah. Should have all drunk bleach to get through COVID.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So people can't commit everything we said already, but what?
Cool. Yeah. So people can't commit.
I mean, I'm saying it blasé, but it is true. Isn't
It's so cool.
It is. It's hella rad.
Yeah.
Obviously, the paradox of choice. We've touched on that, but I wonder how much is like past trauma and emotional unavailability. Whether that's male or female, some people struggle with emotional availability, being completely open, having a partner. It could come into the attachment styles we've spoken about before. Are you anxious? Are you avoidant? Are you disorganized? Are you secure? If you're secure, you're fine. But what trauma are you bringing? Has someone cheated on you in the past? That's going to make you not want to commit and trust someone.
Yeah. I also think how much, everyone's first experience of dating these days is far more brutal than it was back in the day.
Brutal?
It's far more brutal now.
Why that? What choice of words?
Because you can get ghosted. You can more easily get cheated on. Especially as a guy, because as we said, the girl can just go, oh, wow, it's a match straight away.
I think both can cheat, and I think actually men are more likely to cheat than females. I'm going to do some research. Carry on.
Please do. The emotional damage occurs younger, which then means that your whole 20s, essentially, are you just having failed relationships because you're bringing the trauma from the previous one into the new one. And it's just a cycle that continues to repeat itself because there are very few positive dating experiences at a young age. Whereas maybe previously you'd meet the person in person, at least maybe they'd have the respect to say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to be with you anymore. Whereas now it's like you could have a 5-year-long relationship that's broken up over text. Was I right or was I wrong?
Both right and wrong.
I'm always right, so let's say with that one.
So, it's nuanced. Men are generally higher. Men are more likely, on average, to cheat on women or to commit adultery. Overall, men tend to report higher rates, with older men showing peak infidelity. Infidelity, thank you. However, women are catching up. The gap is shrinking, with younger women, 18 to 29, sometimes reporting slightly higher rates than younger men, but a trend that does reverse with age. However, women reach peak
infidelity.
Thank you, infidelity, around their 60s. Whereas men, it does still remain high and peak in their 70s. So you're both right and wrong.
Yeah, I was right.
You can tell yourself whatever you need to, mate.
I was thinking about my age group, so I was right. 25. Not your age group. Your age, you're right. My age, I'm right. There you go. Let's agree to disagree. Yes.
Thank you.
He's on the market, ladies.
You lucky things. I might not be at the time of this going out, according to you.
How much is that dog in the window? DAWG. Daddy and wanting girls.
That's so gross. Oh my god. That's going in the Remember Whens. Oh my god. Oh, that's disgusting. DWAG.
Dwag.
DAWG.
A dog.
Daddy and wanting girls.
Episode 96. No, 95, 96? 96, isn't it?
96. That is disgusting. God, I feel gross. Let me try and keep this on track after your outburst. I would say you get to be quiet, but you're 50%, you're 70% of the talking in this podcast, so let's not do that. But what is the maybe there's better problem?
Well, it's just you're always looking, aren't you? And especially with online dating, as I said, the person who gets back to you might not be the one you really wanted to get back to you. Or you are walking around town, you see a girl you like, then you go to the gym, you see another one you like, you go and ask the one out in the gym because that's easily accessible, and then you think about the girl that you saw walking in town. It's like, you always, I think people just generally want what they can't have.
Okay. But there's now a suggestion of maybe there's better when it comes to people struggling to commit. Because it feels like if they're picking one person, it means they're missing out on all the other matches, and they could be someone that is better suited for them, or more attractive, or more successful. You know, it's this idea of the grass is always greener, or chasing the ideal companion, rather than being maybe grateful and seeing the unique, brilliant qualities that your partner brings. You're already looking for suggestions that there might be someone better. You know, you're allowed to be with someone but have your eyes open. But I suppose this is managed by like overcoming the problem requires moving away from the fantasy of perfection, realizing that every relationship does require work, and accepting that better is a consistently moving goalpost. It's not something that is just easily attained and it comes with one perfect relationship. But I suppose it makes dating feel like shopping now, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because if there's always going to be something else, something new, something better, what's new and shiny, it's like shopping.
Yeah, and one will have the features that you want, and another one will have other features that you want, but not the same features, and, you know, yeah, you're just trying to look for the upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas there's no such thing as the upgrade. The upgrade is just the length of time in the relationship, because things get better as time goes on.
I like that. Very grown up of you. Do you think the endless swiping has ruined attraction?
Yes.
Not just relationships, attraction.
I do.
Why are you so confident with that?
Because it's all the comparison. It's like if you can just swipe, like you just look at it, it's like, oh, that's an enjoyable image to look at. What's the next one? Oh, that's an enjoyable image to look at. You know.
Open the camera, did you?
No, just looked at an ugly girl. But in real life, she'd be more attractive because there'd be that electricity.
Good save.
You know, people are ugly. Deal with it.
I am.
What?
Since your DAWG has gone off the rails. It was a good one until then. You've ruined it.
No, I think
everyone tell Willie ruined it with his awful daddy attracting, wanting young women
and wanting girls.
Okay.
But you've got to say daddy and wanting girls.
I don't think I
can.
Got to
say it like that.
But yeah, endless swiping, ruining attraction.
Yeah. Because you just like, oh, well, you know, that girl's nice, but I'll just look on the other app now. Like,
do you think it's ruining attraction because we're getting, if you are using dating apps, so swiping, it's showing you more and more attractive people than you might be used to seeing in like an average day-to-day. So if dating was set somewhat based in your community, so whether you travelled or not, but obviously if you lived quite insular or stayed in your local town, you might not see as many attractive people as you might see if it's there in front of you. So it does, you know how like porn ruins sex for young men, swiping might ruin attractiveness for everyone because you're seeing some of the top % people that are like bombshells, but not all of us are walking around like smoke shows.
It's true. Some of us are, but
yeah, not all of us are blessed like you.
I know. It's just all down to healthy habits, like going to the gym as regularly as I do, and you know, being incredibly monetarily successful. It's it's like playing life on easy mode, really. Yeah. No, but I do think that's a very good point. On looking when you look online, the posts that do best are the ones with the most attractive people.
Right.
Now, what that means in reality is, when was the last time that you had like a good sample size of the opposite sex or whoever you're interested in your real life, that you could make an accurate judgment on who's the most attractive out of this group? It's probably school for a lot of people when they're in secondary school and they're looking around like, who's the most attractive girl in school? It's a thing, and that puts a lot of weight on that one person who's really attractive, or maybe there's 3 or 4 of them, but then everyone else is like, oh, okay, well, they're still attractive. But then you compare it online and everyone's better than the best looking person in school.
Yep, and it sets unrealistic expectations both for what you can obtain, what you can try and work towards. Yeah, same thing, same.
Own.
Yep, same.
Yeah.
No, okay. But also how you can look as a person as well. If you're a young female and you're seeing these images of half-naked, attractive females that are in great shape, it's going to set unrealistic expectations for them that they might need to get work done or whatever it might be to look that certain way. And the same for men. If they see a certain degree of man that's like if they look at Chris Bumstead and you're like, well, I'm never going to be that. That's an unrealistic expectation, because that's a man that's dedicated his entire life. I did see one video, there was a tweet that said, this is literally all men want. A little bit of muscle, a little bit of body hair. It's not that simple. It was Chris Bumstead, peak bulk, when he just come out the sauna. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. It's a challenge.
Yeah. But it's those unrealistic expectations, both on what you feel like you can reach for in a relationship, because you've well, none of these girls I'm surrounded by, none of these girls I go to college with or university with look like anything that I see online, so why would I ever go for anyone that's here? But it's also, well, if this is the standard of guys and girls, I've got to do something absurd to get there. And don't get me wrong, it might lead to some sort of positive outcome if a man uses that as positive inspiration to get into the gym or get in shape or get a better paying job or look after themselves, be a better community provider. Awesome. Same traits for a female. Awesome. But it's that unrealistic expectation. It's that negative fuel to the fire that can just lead to a society that just feels incredibly self-deprecating.
Yeah. And definitely self-conscious.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, you imagine being Chris Bumstead. I imagine that it's very difficult when he was looking to find a partner to feel secure, because he'll be like, okay, well, I know that I look pretty good right now, but anyone that I meet is probably going to be attracted to me for my body. And actually, as soon as I lose this body, because I'm not planning on having this forever, are they still going to like me after all the muscles deplete? There's people look at things like, oh yeah, that would be great to have a body like that, but then don't think about but are they still going to like me for me, or are they just liking me for my body?
It would be interesting to have that discussion with him.
Yeah, we'll try and get him on.
Chris Bumstead's been on Modern Wisdom, and actually he's a really great role model for young men, because he's extremely in touch with his emotions.
Yeah.
He's a really great role model for young men. And he's
stepping back from bodybuilding so he can be a better dad.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a really great role model. So all of these, I know there's a big shift going on of even Alex Hormozy is leaning more into slightly of his emotions, which is great. But yeah, Chris Bumstead is a great role model. But you are right. I'd be curious to see what sort of dialogue went round in his head when it comes to dating for anyone that's the best in a field at something. Because that's a status symbol. But it's, how do you know if the person's attracted to the status or attracted to you? I remember reading this story once on Reddit, so you can question whether it's true or not, but I think it is. It was about this story between a man and a woman. They met online, just in a normal small town, and the guy said, "Oh, I just work in the warehouse of this big company. It's just what I do." She was like, "Oh, cool. I'm a nurse. That's what I do." And they dated for 3 years. And they were getting married, they're getting a place together, and she comes to bring his lunch round to the warehouse. And she comes in and says, "Oh, where's Dave? Where's Dave?" She's like, "Oh, he's in the office." She's like, "What?" Goes up. She said, why have you got your own office? Like, oh, I own the company. Like, I wanted to meet someone that liked me for me, not the, like, status I have. She just went, I'm a doctor. Like, I have the same battle. And then they bought a really nice house, but then other than that, lived exactly the same lives. So, like, we found someone that loves us for who we are rather than the things we can provide. But that must be really challenging because there might be people out there that are just attracted to status. There's people that win the lottery and suddenly find the love of their life 2 days later.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I like my girlfriend, because she just does not care about YouTube or subscribers or success really in any way. And I like the fact that she's been with me since before I blew up online. So she's seen the journey and the motivation and whatever it's taken to get here. And like that means that I trust her infinitely more because I know that she likes me for being the weirdo that I am.
Yeah.
If I met anyone else, I wouldn't tell them that I'm a YouTuber.
No?
No. After they've seen, but what are the words? They won't give me a chance. I'm self-aware.
I am a office worker.
Yeah, I'm a video editor.
Yeah, nice.
What video is porn?
Yeah, that'll go down well.
Yeah, maybe not actually.
Not as good as one of the words, I tell you.
I don't know. Depends what they're into.
Probably not porn.
Who knows?
So do you think we are addicted to the idea of someone better?
Are you?
No. I think it's easy to get caught up in the idea that there could be, but I don't think we're addicted to it. And I wonder if the people that feel like they are, have they ever allowed themselves to be open enough to receive true, honest, and authentic love? Because I feel like once you feel that, you don't look for anything else. You don't, like, once you feel unconditional love, your eyes don't go anywhere else. I'm sorry, they don't. You know, when you find someone that loves you for you, embraces you for your uniqueness, encourages you to be more, but loves you for who you are, accepts your quirks, your weirdness, your faults, but still chooses to spend their life with you, you don't look elsewhere.
Nope. That's why it's so easy. Just find somebody that loves you for who you are. Don't know why everyone doesn't do it.
You sold modern dating. Okay, just put that at the beginning of the podcast. Don't worry about watching the rest of it. Just skip to the end. Will solves modern dating. Find someone for who you are.
I like to think it was a team effort.
I don't want any sort of that credit. Yeah, I don't want any sort of that credit, mate. So you can keep that all over there. I don't want anything to do with your mess.
That's fine.
You know, I think it's inspiring how you can have such confidence speaking with such lack of knowledge. Yeah.
You've got to seem sure, otherwise people don't listen.
That's why you run a cult, isn't it?
Sorry?
What?
Oh, you're giving it a try, are you?
What, you?
Yeah, I was saying it with confidence with limited information.
You run a cult, yeah.
Yeah, but what are the words?
Exactly.
Yeah, the Taylorites.
One last question for you, Will. What's your final word?
7. It's been a joy.
It has.